Hi, this is Christy from Back to the Bar. You've probably heard about GLP-1 weight loss medications and the side effects that can come with jumping in too fast. That's why I Love Noom makes getting started easy. Their microdose GLP-1 program begins with a smaller dose and gradually scales up based on how your body reacts. The Noom GLP-1 microdose program starts at $99 and is delivered to your door in 7 days. Start your microdose GLP-1 journey today at Noom.com. That's Noom.com. Noom, micro changes, big results. Average weight loss 8 pounds in first month. Meds and personalization based on clinical need and not available to all individuals. Medications are not reviewed by FDA for safety, efficacy, or quality. Pricing based on first month only.
AI had the time of my life. AI never felt this way before.
From building timelines to assigning the right people and even spotting risks across dozens of projects, Monday Sidekick knows your business, thinks ahead, and takes action. One click on the star and consider it done.
And I owe it all to you.
Try Monday Sidekick. AI you'll love to use on Monday.com.
On today's Smart 7, Labour makes another budget U-turn. Protests over ice shooting continue in Minneapolis and much more. It's Friday 9th of January. It's Choreographer's Day and happy birthday, Imelda Staunton.
The Smart 7. It's news, but
Not the news.
The Labour government seems to be heading towards another U-turn on November's budget. They've already stepped back on inheritance tax on farms, along with previous U-turns on the two-child benefit cap and winter fuel payments. And now it seems that the proposed business rate rises for pubs are also going to be diluted. The change is due to be announced in the coming days and comes after more intensive lobbying from Labour MPs and the hospitality industry. This week has also seen fresh attacks from the Tories and Reform on the decision to lift the two-child benefit cap. But the Chancellor says that it is consistent with Labour's pledge to lift children out of poverty.
The majority of people who will benefit from that are from working families, and that is one of the myths, that these are families where no one's going out to work. No, and many of these families, people are working incredibly hard, but because of the cost of living, are still struggling to make ends meet.
Nigel Farage suggested this week that the change will benefit huge numbers of foreign-born people, and so his party would vote against the proposed change, while Tory Shadow Chancellor Mel Stride says the government's approach to benefits is wrong.
And we don't think it's right that if you happen to be on benefits, you can have a family of whatever size you want and not have to worry about how you're going to pay for that because it's going to be covered by the benefits bill.
Protests continued in Minneapolis on Thursday after an ICE agent shot dead a 37-year-old woman named as Renee Nicole Good. The video of the shooting and her death has sparked furious outrage in Minnesota, but Donald Trump's administration have continued to blame the victim and claim that she was attempting to harm the agents who surrounded her car. US Vice President J.D. Vance claimed that the woman, who had just dropped her son to school, had been brainwashed by radical left-wing activists. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the deployment of ICE was a deliberate attempt to provoke a response.
This has been building over the course of several weeks. This was entirely predictable, and it is our police officers that have been consistently being placed in the middle of these situations, trying to de-escalate things.
The chaos at home and abroad driven by the Trump administration has provided a stern test for countries wary of attracting the wrath of the US president, and Prime Minister Keir Starmer has been careful to avoid direct condemnation of US actions. Labour's Pat McFadden says it's a delicate balance to maintain.
This is a world in which we have to be able to exert hard power and soft power in terms of the constant dialogue with the United States and with our allies, whether that's over Greenland, Venezuela.
Despite this week's progress on security guarantees for Ukraine, there's no sign of any actual progress towards peace as Russia continues to strike nightly at targets across the country. 1 million people were left without power or heat on Thursday after a massive wave of Russian drone and missile attacks, and the barrages seem to be intensifying as Ukraine struggles through a cold winter. President Zelensky has asked his citizens to remain resilient while he pleads for more support from Western allies. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz was warning that until a ceasefire is agreed, there's not much more the coalition can do to help.
The order must be, first a ceasefire, then security guarantees for Ukraine, for a long-term agreement with Russia. And this doesn't work without Russia's consent, and we are probably still quite a long way from that.
The Met Police were back in the spotlight on Thursday as a new report revealed serious errors in their vetting process as they launched a recruitment drive to improve police numbers. The report, which reviewed a 10-year period from March 2013, found that over 5,000 officers and staff were not properly vetted, which led to serious offenders becoming part of the force. In total, 131 officers who hadn't been thoroughly checked committed offences which included sexual assaults, drug use and violence. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood described the failures in the vetting process as a dereliction of the Met's duty to keep London safe. At least 1,500 officers have been fired since Met Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley took over the force in 2022, and former head of recruitment and training at the Met, Stephen Roberts, said he's not surprised.
If you don't weed out the bad ones that are applying, and that takes judgment and it takes a lot of work, then you will have problems in the future.
Still to come on today's Smart 7 in association with Metro. Disappointment for Arsenal and two heavyweights team up for a new comedy right after this.
Hi, this is Christy from Back to the Bar. You've probably heard about GLP-1 weight loss medications and the side effects that can come with jumping in too fast. That's why I Love Noom makes getting started easy. Their microdose GLP-1 program begins with a smaller dose and gradually scales up based on how your body reacts. The Noom GLP-1 microdose program starts at $99 and is delivered to your door in 7 days. Start your microdose GLP-1 journey today at Noom.com. That's Noom.com. Noom, micro changes, big results. Average weight loss 8 pounds in first month. Meds and personalization based on clinical need and not available to all individuals. Medications are not reviewed by FDA for safety, efficacy, or quality. Pricing based on first month only.
Youth mental health is a complex challenge that requires comprehensive solutions. We must strengthen after-school programs. We must make digital literacy tools available in our schools. We must work with mental health professionals to support children. And we must empower mentors, educators, and parents to keep kids happy. Learn more about our commitment to finding lasting solutions at empowerourfuturecoalition.com/solutions. Paid for by the Coalition to Empower Our Future.
Welcome back.
Thursday night saw just one Premier League game, but it was a big one. Potential Premier League champions Arsenal faced reigning Premier League champions Liverpool. There were 14 points between the clubs at kick-off, with Liverpool fourth in the table as Arsenal looked to build a lead over nearest rivals Man City. Liverpool weren't prepared to give up though, and the game ended in a goalless draw, which still sees Mikel Arteta's side 6 points clear at the top. He was hoping for the win, however.
Well, disappointed because we wanted to win the game, but I think in the first half we were the better team, generated some big situations that didn't transform probably in clear-cut chances because we didn't pick the player, which is positive, but a bit bitter because we really wanted to win.
This Sunday sees the Golden Globes take place live from Beverly Hills as award season gets into top gear. Last weekend saw comedian Chelsea Handler hosting the Critics' Choice Awards and causing controversy with jokes about Jeff Bezos and Nicki Minaj, along with some not-so-subtle flirting with Benicio del Toro. She popped up with Jimmy Fallon to chat about the awards and tell an incredible story about an encounter on her last European holiday in Mallorca.
I stopped them. I said, "What's the deal?" And they were like, "We were celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary." And then in my pocket, I had a little LSD. They said, "We're having a really good night." I'm like, "It could get better." I'm on my terrace the next morning at 7:30. And I'm like, "Hey, you guys." And the man said to me, he goes, "I told you that we were having a great night, and you told me you could make our night better. And guess what? You did."
There's a new heavyweight comedy on the way starring Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista as brothers who have to solve the mystery of their dad's murder. It's called The Wrecking Crew, and it sees Momoa playing a cop who is a loose cannon, while Bautista is a former Navy SEAL. Both of the stars are action movie veterans, and there's plenty of fight sequences as they battle a wave of Japanese Yakuza in a sleepy Hawaiian town. It has all the makings of a classic buddy cop movie, and it drops on Amazon Prime on January 28th.
I can't have two guys who look like they eat steroid pancakes for breakfast, turning my island into Beirut!
Detective, that is uncalled for. Are you gaslighting us?
You want to tell me why the Yakuza want you dead?
You have to ask them.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day.
Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Youth mental health is a complex challenge that requires comprehensive solutions. We must strengthen after-school programs. We must make digital literacy tools available in our schools. We must work with mental health professionals to support children. And we must empower mentors, educators, and parents to keep kids happy. Learn more about our commitment to finding lasting solutions at empowerourfuturecoalition.com/solutions. Paid for by the Coalition to Empower Our Future.